Hi, my name is Jim Bradbury, and I'm a board member with the Idaho Virtual Reality Council. And we would like to thank you for the opportunity to come up here today and talk to you a little bit about the potential of virtual reality technologies and what they can do in education and workforce training. I thought it was a much better presentation if we were able to bring in a local expert whose company powers the PCs behind a lot of the workforce development that goes on in various different industries. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Amy Geil. She's the CEO of Silverdraft Supercomputing here in Boise. And they've been doing a lot of great work powering some of the infrastructure behind virtual reality.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for having me. It is an honor. So I'm Amy Geil. I am the founder and CEO of Silverdraft Supercomputing. And we are a virtualization technology solutions provider. And so we design compute and pipeline based on the workflow and applications within visual and virtualization. That's a mouthful, right? So what does that actually mean? Well, imagine you could build a product and see it before it ever existed. Imagine you could manipulate that product before you ever saw it. Imagine you could train how to use that product. Imagine you could collaborate and engage with other partners around the use case for that product. That is what we enable our clients to do. So let me give you a couple of examples. So automotive, where Silverdraft does our whole flow is around enterprise, VR, AR, and AI. So automotive. We work with the automotive companies to design their workflow to use these tools to create and design the vehicle. So they immerse themselves in a VR environment. They collaborate with others around the world, designing that vehicle. They make determinations of the fit, the finish, how every single component is going to connect. And they also look at it from a collision standpoint. How are these components going to react when a car smashes into another vehicle? They also take this data and they use it to do their design reviews with their executive teams. So again, they're all completely immersed in a virtual environment and they're reviewing the vehicle. They're talking about the vehicle. They're gaining understanding around that vehicle. And they make serious determinations on how they're going to move forward with that design. After that, they take it into manufacturing. That data is critical for the understanding of what this product is going to be. And that helps them design the vehicle. So what does that mean? It's just another addition to their workflow and pipeline? No. It's about understanding that data and informing not just themselves, but their entire team on what this product is going to be before they've even built it. That saves significant time and money. Every single clay model is about 750 to 1 million, and they can make up to 7-10 of those clay models per vehicle. To design a vehicle, it can take a year, 2 years, longer. This significantly shortens down that time frame, saving them time and money. So what does that mean for architecture, engineering, construction, finance, medical? Normally you would look at different verticals in a business. We don't. We look at visualization and virtualization because this tool and this technology frees the mind, frees the creativity, and allows people to collaborate in ways and learn in ways that they didn't know was possible. And that's really what excited me in starting this company. How can technology free the artist rather than hinder the artist? When we first were starting, I wasn't sure how artists were going to handle creating and designing in a virtual 3D environment. We'd stick an automotive designer inside. They're unsure, and they started designing in 2D in a 3D environment. And I really pondered. I mean, I knew what these tools could do, but I really pondered, is it possible to take a current artist, your top automotive designer, your top architect, your top furniture designer, and have them literally create, not just use it as a tool to review and see, but actually create that product in VR. I'm the CEO of this company, and I definitely was unsure. Because what we were seeing is you would take the top automotive designer, who's very hesitant, and he initially would design 2D in the 3D world. He wouldn't turn around, he wouldn't look up. I mean, when you're in a virtual environment, everything that is in that environment is accurate. So if something's off, it's off once you create the product. They design in 2D. Well, we have offices here in Boise. We are an Idaho-based company. Our headquarters are here. We also have offices at Jim Henson Studios in LA. And every VR computer that we build gets burned in, and then it goes into a VR lab for a very long period of time. Because it's critical that the performance between software and hardware and ancillary components all work seamlessly together, because people can get sick if it's not done accurately. So my daughter, she goes to Riverstone. She loves to come over to the office and get immersed in VR. And I'll tell my engineers, if she comes, let her go in, it's fine, it's fine. Well, I was in my office and I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't seen her for a very long period of time. So I walked into the VR lab and I looked up on the screen and my jaw dropped. Here was a 7-year-old child, 7-year-old, who had never used this application, immersed in a VR environment, and she had fully designed a house around herself. She's in it, she has stairs, she has different rooms, she's walking in and out, she's stepping out of it, she's shrinking it down, she's looking at it, she's expanding it, and she's walking back in. And I had that moment of, oh, you have got to be kidding me. We're onto something here. What is it about that child's mind that could completely free her, that she could be immersed and her creativity would still flow? So, go back to the automotive designer. We'll just call him Bob. We'll make up a name. Bob. Okay, it's not just what's in front of you. Forget about where you're at. You're immersed in this space. Just envision the vehicle. What do you want this vehicle to be? Boom. They're now, slicing, cutting, carving, taping off. You get into a design session, they're making notes. In VR, we're tagging, we're marking, we're taping. The workflow in the immersed is very similar to how they create not immersed. Then we take the physical, so here's a real steering wheel, here's your virtual environment, and then we put them together. So now you're immersed with the physical and the virtual, so you can see You can see it virtually, but you can touch it. You can reach for things. You can step in and out of the vehicle. You can shut doors. In architecture and engineering, we did a project with the Hard Rock Hotel that's now I think it may have opened, or it's about to open in Florida. And this entire structure was designed and built in virtual reality before any piece of dirt was moved. Pixels are significantly less expensive to move than dirt. And it wasn't just the fit and finish, again, let's see what it looks like, let's see what the volume of space is. No, it's how are we going to train housekeeping to move through this building? How are we going to move them through the halls? Where does the garbage go? How does it get from point A to point B? Normally we would build the building, then you have to train all your staff. All of that was done virtually before the building was built. Again, saving time and money. Large errors were made. You're in VR, you can have what's called real-time ray tracing and see light and shadows. They had to move the entire pool because the reflection from the building shaped like a guitar was reflecting onto the pool, and the pool would have been unusable. So they did a huge shift in changing the layout. Again, saving time and money. When I look at where Silverdraft can go and these technologies can go, it's really endless. It's about innovation and pushing the mind beyond what you really think is possible. The younger generation is absolutely primed for where all of this is heading. They already can multitask on different devices. It's just how do you have them use these technologies to enhance learning and creativity? So I want, as the CEO of Silverdraft, to continue to enable, to inspire young minds to think beyond the actual physical real, but that imagination and that creativity that they can create. Because an engineer and an artist are one and the same. How do I put this? I feel blessed and fortunate that our technologies are allowing innovation and development, but blessed and fortunate that I'm at and witnessing a massive shift that is happening in business, in technology, and in learning. I am speechless. I'm kind of at a loss for words because it really is, we're at a mind-blowing part, but it's a do or die situation for current businesses. Because if you take a young automotive company that doesn't have all of this legacy, and then you take an automotive company that has its structure and its legacy that takes this much time to design a vehicle, or a younger one that is using these technologies and could design a vehicle within 3 months, that's a massive shift. And we desperately need young minds. So I only have a few more minutes. So I think I'm going to actually open up. Jim, is it okay if I do this? Just open it up for questions?
Sure. Why not? And I'm happy to come up.
Yeah, come on up. Come up.
So again, Amy is an awesome representative for the industry to come and speak with us today. And hopefully what we'd like to promote is a bit of a discussion a little bit about VR, the technology, what it offers. There are a lot of different ways that it's been able to improve education, workforce training. There's a lot of medical studies and techniques that are being used utilizing virtual reality. I recently did a demo down in San Mateo for a virtual reality welder's certification process where you're actually getting certified as a welder using virtual technology, virtual reality technology. So I would encourage anybody, if you have a question about what VR is or augmented reality as well, because that's what you do just with the glasses as opposed to a full virtual reality headset, please raise your hand or send a card forward, and we're happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. Do I have any takers?
Takers? Wow, what a quiet room. Yes.
So I logged on to the Idaho Virtual Reality Council website here, and I went to jobs, and one of the things that I noticed under the things that they're asking for is nowhere does it say anything about a degree. All skills-based. How is somebody developing these skills? Where do they learn them, and how can Idaho teach these better, I guess, or make it so that we can embrace virtual reality more?
You mind if I take that?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Sure.
Go for it.
So you could go through a traditional route and begin learning these skills in high school. I'm actually a board member for the Meridian Technical Charter High School, and a lot of the base skill set for being able to develop in VR is being taught in high schools. You could also go to any major accredited university and go into an education path there. We also have people from Boise CodeWorks in the audience today, and they do secondary education from a technical standpoint, and are putting out great people who are getting jobs here in the workforce locally. The great thing about where we're at from a technology standpoint today is a democratization of the tool sets, so that even if you're a consumer at home and you're interested about how do I learn how to develop for video games or for making a VR medical simulation, you can actually learn it at home. There are online degree programs. We use the Unity engine at Blackbox. I happen to also be the general manager for that company. They provide, the Unity as a company provides an entire education course that you can download and become certified. I think we had an opportunity for one great question. So thank you very much. And I would encourage everybody during the break, if they would go over and see some of the fun little demos that we have from some companies here locally, including Blocksmith XR. And then I also have an RVRC table out front with some other VR demos, and we're happy to talk to anybody answering any more questions. And thank you very much, Amy.
Absolutely. If you have any questions on Silverdraft or what we need from a hiring standpoint, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you.